Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to this football forecast show, a sports program in which we analyze football from an unbiased perspective. This episode today, it's all about CAF. Breaking news. Breaking news. News flash. Breaking news. Morocco 2026 African champions. CAF African Nations Cup champions. Morocco 2026. Yes. Yeah, Morocco. Some people they win for office, some people they win for fee. Morocco they win now for office. African champions in the office. They have waited 50 years, they'll still have to wait for more than 50 more years before they can lay their hands on that trophy. It will take more than an appeal through corrupt and unscrupulous politicians for Morocco to become victorious or for them to lift a Nations Cup. It takes a lot of hard work and preparation. So many years of preparation. Ask Cameroonians who've been winning as if it's their regular playground. But it takes time. This CAF is the most corrupt CAF that I've seen in so many years. Patrice's CAF, Patrice Motsepe, his CAF, the most corrupt CAF that I've seen in so many years. Ahmad was better. Like they say, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Ahmad was way better than Patrice. A lot of victories are taking places in the office. It looks like after the tournament, they have to go to VAR and figure out VAR from a VAR who won. VAR have to always give us the champion. Yes, so the VAR this time decided that Morocco won the Nations Cup. There's another case now with Nigeria. They also want to qualify for the World Cup through VAR. They said Congo fielded players that were not eligible. The Congolese is a Congolese. One Bissaka is from Congo. Tuanzebe is from Congo. But Nigeria wants to go to the World Cup because they lost to these countries. If these countries, those players also played against Cameroon, it means if they were to award a victory to Nigeria, they have to turn around and award the same victory to Cameroon. Because we lost to DR Congo with Tuanzebe and one Bissaka. This cannot be the normal routine. You cannot run football in the office. There's no VAR for championships. When you lose on the field, that is it. They play football and win on the field, not in the offices. Morocco champions 2026. I'm not going to take the trophy for Senegal now. It never Dakar. Once we go land plane, they pick that trophy, go come back for our head office. Or when I go do a trophy celebration, yeah, they should organize a parade, a trophy parade, and then they take the Hakimi and Diaz. They should go pick up the trophy from Dakar, take it to Morocco, and then they do a parade, a trophy parade as victors. That doesn't make any sense. Leadership in Africa have been a problem for so many years, and they constantly humiliate the next generation. These are billionaires. For crying out, these are billionaires. But they keep on wanting to enrich themselves in more ways than one. Why would a tournament that was organized in a beautiful manner, a tournament that showed the whole world that Africa have moved a couple of places forward, why should the office take us 50 years backward? Someone will win on the field and then someone will win in the office. Now we have two champions in Africa. Morocco champions. I go die laughing. So let us get to the basics. Let us analyze exactly what transpired and what could have been done. What could have been done? When that penalty was awarded, it is true Senegalese players walk off the pitch. After about 12 minutes, after about 12 minutes of mediation and everything that transpired, they decided to go back on the pitch to continue the game. Two things could have happened. The ref could have awarded yellow cards or red cards to those who left the field. And that would have brought the number of players on the playground to below 7, which means the game could not continue and the trophy would have been given to Morocco. So that game could have ended even without the penalty shootouts, without prolongation, without extra time. Those players who walk off the field, by law, were not supposed to go back on the playground without the ref issuing yellow cards and red cards to those players. That could have reduced the number of players to maybe 6, and by law, you cannot play when you only have 6 players. Then that would have been the end of the game. Morocco would have been awarded the trophy, and that would have been a fair outcome. That is the text. So if you do not implement that text at that moment, how can you go back and take a trophy that was awarded to someone because of a mistake of an official? The officials, whatever the official, what decisions that they make on the field, at the end of the game, they become final. 99% of the time, the ref's decision on the pitch becomes final. And the final decision on the pitch, he let the game to continue. They had their penalty kick. It was awarded. Diaz missed the penalty. The game continued. Senegal won. Senegal won clean and clear. That was pure victory. So you cannot go back and take the trophy from Senegal. It cannot happen. It doesn't work that way. You win trophies on the pitch, not in the offices. There's no VAR for who should we award the trophies to. Morocco organized this trophy with one mentality that should be eradicated from football. The whole idea was they have to win. It was Morocco will win or nothing else. We are organizing to win. That is not the fair play mentality that we have to approach tournaments with. You do not approach a tournament with the belief that you have to win. I already postulated that there should be a manner or a way in which host countries don't participate. If host countries do not participate in these competitions, there will be some clarity. There will be some fairness with officiating. The only difference is if you're not participating, it's difficult to get your fans to go to the field. But if all the qualifying nations were able to take their supporters to the field, then we will not have that problem. Morocco organized a tournament with the intention to win. And like they talk for Panabo, say, Tifman Yifam na makes him plenty day. Tifman Yifam, merits in way did plenty. After victory against Cameroon, that was unjust. Victory against Nigeria, that was unjust. Now, Moroccans are sore losers because they lost to Senegal at the finals. Because the referee made a mistake, a fatal error that led to, without the ref's error, even the goal that the disallowed goal by the ref, this game will not be having this conversation today. So many people have forgotten the fact that the ref disallowed a goal against Morocco and instantly awarded a penalty on the other side of the pitch, and that is why we are where we are today. So Morocco thought that after you cheat against Cameroon to win, there was a red card that was not awarded. There was a penalty that was not awarded against Cameroon. The same thing was done against Nigeria, so Morocco could qualify. They now went to the finals and wanted to do the same thing through the ref. Patrice and the president of Moroccan Football Federation, whatever Ngumba house you guys are fellowshipping in, it will not work. You will not destroy Africa. You will not take the reputation of Africa, a beautiful continent with millions of intelligent people. You will not take our reputation backwards. We've worked so hard to be identified, or we've worked so hard to earn a place on the table. You cannot take the food away from us. You cannot take us down again. It will not happen. Like I said, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Ahmad was a better president than Patrice. Ahmad was a better president than Patrice. And it shows. So what next? The decision has been taken by the Appeals Commission for the African CAF, whatever. They have made their decision and they have declared Morocco the winner. So what next? What next? This is what will happen. Senegal will appeal to TAS. Senegal will have to appeal to TAS. Again, this thing is political. There's politics and there's law. When it gets to TAS, Infantino, who goes to bed with this, with Patrice and the president of Morocco Football Federation, they are the ones at the top of that organization. So how do we, is there a possibility that we'll ever see fair results, fair outcome from this? It's possible. On the same token, it might never be possible. If there is other, legally, if there are any other domestic remedies, Senegal will have to avail itself of those domestic remedies in Africa. And once they're done with those domestic remedies, exhaustion of those domestic remedies, now they'll be eligible to take their case to TAS. When they go to TAS, TAS will evaluate the case, look at the circumstances, go through everything, and also make a decision. Assuming that TAS's decision doesn't favor Morocco, then that should be the end of it. But at that point, Morocco can still appeal to Swiss, the Swiss federal, to the Swiss federal courts. That's the final arbiter, and that is where this decision will come. That's where the final decision will come from. So by the time we get decision as to who will be the champion of this Nations Cup that we just played, we must have played another Nations Cup. Yes. If not that they've moved the calendar of events to 4 years, every 4 years, by the time we would have been waiting to get who was the winner of 2026, we would have been played. There's a possibility that we would have played another Nations Cup while we wait. These things don't take a day. When he goes to TAS, it's going to take at least 7, 8, 9 months, 10 months, because TAS have to go through rigorous findings, watch tapes, hundreds of tapes, listen to witnesses. So it takes time. And when they're done with their decision, if they say, Senegal, you're champions again, and then Morocco decides to appeal, if they say, Morocco, you're champions, then Senegal still also have the opportunity to appeal to the Swiss court, the Swiss federal court. That is where we'll have the final decision. That can take another year. So there's a possibility that we'll never know the champion of African Nations Cup for 2026 in 2 years. Let the limbo continue. Let us just keep things the way they are. So that's the legal process. Legally, 2 things will happen. If there are any other domestic remedies within CAF, Senegal will have to appeal to that body. If there's a possibility of re-evaluation by the same body, Senegal will rewrite to that same body. After that domestic remedy have been exhausted, now they have to take it now to TAS. When they get to TAS, TAS will go through the process, come up with a decision. After TAS decision, whoever is not happy with the outcome still have the opportunity to take it to the Swiss courts. The Swiss courts, they make the final decision. That will take time. 2 years before we'll get to know who was the winner of the African Nations Cup. And I hope Morocco cannot win. Even if they win, how do you feel when they beat you on the field and then you take the trophy home? That's a disgrace to you and your people. Moroccans don't have to accept that. That's a thing. It doesn't have to work like that. That's not how football works. Like I said, the ref have the option of issuing red cards and to stop that game at that point, and then the trophy could have been awarded to Morocco. Easy. It didn't do that. So what next? What next? What next for African football? Closing thoughts. Samuel Eto'o, the president of Cameroon Football Federation, should be elected president of CAF, and we'll see some changes. Samuel Eto'o should be elected president of CAF, and we'll see a lot of changes. Dynamism, that's one thing that he will bring to bear. Leadership, that is what we lack in Africa. Being fair, that's something that he will bring to bear on the football at the continental level. Simplicity, understanding, listening, and above all, transformative. That guy is a transformative leader. It's like some of the history leaders that we used to read about, like Joseph the Great, those who had so many good ideas, but had the misfortune to see all those plans miscarry. It's amongst those transformative leaders that have to be listened to and given the opportunity to do things the way he thinks that will fit the interest of the fans. interests of big companies now outweigh the interests of the fans. Those who just love football, those of us who just sit at home and watch and just want to be happy. Football is our own passion. Football is our own drug. We just need to make sure that we can watch football and be happy. If African presidents are listening, African Federation presidents are listening, Samuel Eto'o should be your next presidential candidate, and he will change and transform football in Africa in more ways than one. If we rely on Patrice, the likes of Patrice, the president of Moroccan Football Federation, it will never work. And remember, during the Nations Cup, a lot of federations were angry and were chanting Eto'o's name for him to be the president of the federation. He's this close. He's this close. That is why you see CAF will sanction him, FIFA will sanction him. Why? They are afraid of him. They are scared. They are scared that if he gets closer and gets on that stool, a lot of shady deals that they have in place will go public. A lot of things will go wrong. That's why you hear, oh, Eto'o has been suspended by CAF. Oh, Eto'o has been suspended by FIFA. They want to soil his reputation. So whenever he submits his candidatures, they'll say, oh, no, you did this, you were penalized for this. Ethically, this, you're not a competent candidate. That will not work. That will not work. That is a single transformative leader that I've seen that can change football in Africa and should be given the opportunity. Things like this will not happen. Win a trophy, take it home, and then they come and they collect it from you, and then they want to give it to someone else. Who does that? Who does that? Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to hit the subscription and notification button. This is the Football Forecast Show. Have a blessed week ahead as we continue to look at ways in which African football can be tailored to meet the needs of the modern times or tailored to meet the needs of a civilized society. The next generation should wake up. Wake up. It's time for us to wake up and take the mantle of our football federations in Africa and be able to rule in ways other than dogmatism and favoritism. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day ahead. Do not forget to hit the notification bell. This is Joseph Dinga reporting for the Football Forecast Show. Bye.